So what did Becky Lynch actually say? While talking with Cody Rhodes on his podcast, Becky openly admitted that she loves working as a heel more than as a babyface. In her own words, she said she feels like she does more good by being bad. She said she is a better wrestler when she is a heel because she can make other people look stronger in the ring. She admitted that she doesn't see herself as a cool wrestler with flashy moves. Instead, she is good at selling her opponent's moves and putting them over. That's the shocking confession that has caused a lot of discussion in the wrestling community, because most people associate Becky Lynch's biggest success with her babyface run starting in 2018 and peaking in 2019 when she headlined WrestleMania. The analyst speaking here says he actually agrees with Becky, even if at first it sounds strange. He explains that Becky Lynch has done everything in WWE. She has been a WrestleMania headliner, a multiple-time women's world champion, and currently holds the Women's Intercontinental Championship. She is part of the famous 4 Horsewomen, along with Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte Flair. But unlike the others, Becky took a longer time to fully blossom into a top star. She had been in WWE for years before she truly got over with the fans. It wasn't until the summer of 2018 that she broke through and became the man, the most popular wrestler in the company at the time. He points out that if Becky Lynch had come into WWE in today's environment, she may not have survived long enough to get over. These days, WWE tends to cut wrestlers very quickly if they don't see immediate star potential. But Becky kept working, kept improving, and little by little she won fans over. Eventually, everything clicked, and she became the biggest name in the women's division. Looking back, Becky's peak in popularity clearly came when she was a babyface. WWE originally tried to push her as a heel in 2018, but the fans rejected that. They wanted to cheer her, not boo her. When Becky attacked Charlotte Flair on SummerSlam 2018, WWE thought the crowd would boo her, but instead they exploded with cheers. That set off the run that led to her WrestleMania 35 main event match against Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair in 2019. She became the man, the face of the company, and the biggest star in women's wrestling. But since then, a lot of her run has been as a heel. The analyst notes that over the last 4 or 5 years, Becky has spent the majority of her time playing the bad guy. After her return in 2021 at SummerSlam, she went into a long heel run as big-time Becks. Even now, in her latest run, she is once again working as a heel. And this is where her confession makes sense. She has been more successful in her own mind when she is playing the villain because that allows her to elevate her opponents. The analyst explains that in WWE, it is often a give and take situation. The company wants certain things from you, and you, as a star, want certain things from the company. Becky understands this dynamic very well. As a babyface, she sells merchandise and draws crowds. But as a heel, she can dictate storylines, have great matches, and help make her opponents look like bigger stars. It's a balance, and Becky knows how to play that game. He then walks through Becky Lynch's career to show how this pattern has played out. In 2019, she was the hottest babyface in the company and headlined WrestleMania. But even Charlotte Flair herself has said that match would not have happened without Ronda Rousey's star power. After WrestleMania 35, Becky's momentum cooled off. She was put in feuds with Lacey Evans, which didn't excite fans. Then, in 2020, she got pregnant and took time off during the pandemic era. When she finally returned at SummerSlam 2021, her comeback had been delayed multiple times. Fans were frustrated waiting for her. When she did come back, she immediately turned heel in shocking fashion, defeating Bianca Belair in seconds. This was the beginning of her big-time Becks character, and once again, her career took off. She spent the next couple of years working as a heel, having strong programs, and keeping herself relevant. Later, she had a run in NXT, where WWE started positioning her as a babyface again. She worked with Tiffany Stratton and put over the younger star. In 2024, she won the Elimination Chamber and challenged Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, but lost. After that, she was in contract negotiations with WWE. Reports said she was considering leaving for Hollywood. WWE offered her the Women's World Championship, but she still wasn't ready to sign a new deal. She took the title but made it clear she wanted to explore other options. Eventually, when she returned, she came back as a heel again. This time, she worked with Bayley, one of her best friends, and also with Lyra Valkyria, someone she thinks very highly of and wants to help elevate. Now, as the Women's Intercontinental Champion, she is once again thriving in a heel role, just as she prefers. The analyst says the funny part is that fans mostly remember Becky Lynch as one of the greatest babyfaces in modern wrestling. Her rise in 2018 and 2019 was legendary, and she became a cultural phenomenon. But the reality is that Becky herself prefers to be a heel. She believes she is more effective that way. She believes she can give more back to the business when she is playing the villain. And when she has the power to choose her direction, that is what she chooses. The analyst admires Becky Lynch for this honesty. He points out that she knows how to play the game better than most. She understands that wrestling is a business and that it's about give and take. She doesn't insist on always being the top babyface. Instead, she asks, who can she help? Who can she put over? And how she can best contribute. That is the mark of a true professional. He recalls that when Becky was on top as a babyface, she drew big money and helped women main event WrestleMania for the first time. But even then, she was carried into that spot by the larger story involving Ronda Rousey. After that, her best runs, at least from her perspective, came as a heel. When she returned in 2021 and reinvented herself as big-time Becks, she once again proved she could evolve and stay relevant. Her heel runs also gave her more leverage backstage. In contract negotiations and creative talks with Triple H and management, she has more say when she is a top heel. She gets to decide who she wants to work with, and WWE listens because they know she can make her opponents look good. That's how she ended up working with Lyra Valkyria, someone WWE also sees as having star potential. The analyst sums it up by saying Becky Lynch is simply playing the game. She knows exactly when to turn face, when to turn heel, and how to use her position to benefit both herself and the company. She is a pro's pro, and her confession only shows how self-aware she really is. He finishes by tipping his hat to Becky. He respects her transparency, her willingness to admit that she is better as a heel, and her understanding of how the wrestling business works. To him, Becky Lynch is not just one of the most popular stars of her generation, but also one of the smartest. She knows when to strike, how to keep herself relevant, and how to help the next generation of wrestlers shine. That is why her shocking confession actually makes perfect sense once you look at her career. This is what the speaker was talking about. He was analyzing Becky Lynch's surprising confession on Cody Rhodes' podcast that she loves working as a heel and thinks she does her best work in that role. He explained why it's surprising at first, but also why he agrees with her after looking at her career history. He showed how she became a star as a babyface, but how she has maintained her power, influence, and success through her heel runs. And he ended by praising her for knowing how to balance the business side with the creative side of wrestling, proving that Becky Lynch truly understands how to play the game.